storks. It's kind of funny how Warner Brothers has a fascination with taking a specific bird and integrate them into their animated features. They took penguins and made them dance in Happy Feet, took owls and made them warriors in Legend of the Guardian's Owls of Ga'Hoole, and now they're taking storks and it seems like they're turning them into a cartoon. Now, the pressure seems to be pretty high on Warner Animation Group, since fans are expecting great things from them after the release of the Lego Movie, hoping that the Warner Brothers would get back in the top ranks of animation like they did back in the days of the Looney Tunes. Yeah, there's just one big problem with that. Under the WAG banner before Storks, there is the Lego Movie, and that's it. So let them have a chance to at least deliver a few non-Lego original pieces before determining on how they are doing in the animation field. But now that they're bringing out one with Storks, will the birds fly prominently high at Warner's as much as Daffy and Tweety, or did they just fail at delivering altogether? Let's find out. The story. In a world set around the legend that storks are responsible for delivering babies to new parents, the story that accompanies it is actually fitting. What works the best conceptually here is how the movie took that legend about the storks and brought it into a contemporary environment, complete with the history of their delivery service and how they made the transition from sending out babies to an Amazon-like company. That in itself opens up to this newly interesting and creative world. In terms of the plot itself, however, it's not as creative as the setting, but it makes sense to be about this. Yes, it did take a big page from Arthur Christmas to make this grand adventure about delivering an important package, complete with a theme of modernizing a classic tradition, but it strips down the whole holiday decor to make the theme regarding family and raising a baby.
We need to tell him.
Tell him what? What, to go watch more TV? This is the best time I've had with Nate in my life. I actually feel like a dad again.
And when no baby brother shows up?
However, this would come with a few problems. One of which is that because it centers around achieving this big goal of delivering the baby along with a few other desires, it is easily predictable regarding the outcome of the characters. Like, this kid wants a baby. Guess what happens? Tulip wants to be with her family. Guess what happens? Junior wants to be the boss. Guess what happens? Also, as it likes to put its focus on the mission more than anything else, it does happen when some scenes end up as filler. Like, I understand having the moments of Tulip and Junior act like parents, but it seriously doesn't have to always cut to the Gardner family to fix up their house in anticipation for the baby. With all that said though, there is one redeeming factor that does save it from being a dull story, and that is the comedy. If anything, it's one of the stronger assets of the film that does make the journey enjoyable. There could be some that can only bring out maybe a few chuckles, but there are guaranteed others that do get a good laugh.
What just happened there? What?
It doesn't bring out the strongest story, but it can have its good moments. The animation. It's not every day that you would get animation like this that can be best described as, well, fun. What the animators tried to pull off here is something with a bit of a cartoony flair. However, in this film, it actually works out well. Both the designs and the movements are not too overbearing to say that it's a cartoon and knows when it's the right time to distribute it when making a visual gag. In fact, it actually helps out the humor to be more effective on a character like Junior and the Wolf Pack. Looking into the design of the characters themselves, the more cartoony looks are given to the animal characters, giving them free range to play with a wide variety of expressions.
Left, right, right, left.
As for the human characters, you could tell there is a baby theme going on. Rarely would you find any sharp corners, and the facial structure is meant to be very round, not to mention having a bigger head and eyes, especially on Tulip. If there is one downside with the animation in this, it's that the backgrounds may look a bit generic. Even if some can look absolutely grand, most of the areas the characters go through aren't that impressive looking, like a cave, or a warehouse, or a home. However, even if the places don't look extravagant at first, what it's capable of does try to make up for it. The large scale of corner store does bring some fascinating machinery, especially with the baby making machine presenting how it would produce a baby. On top of that, some of the chase and fight scenes that Junior and Tulip get into are great and creative highlights of the film. Whether it be the wolf pack and their numerous transformations to get that tiny thing, or the most silent battle against penguins. The animation wants to be a part of the cartoon category, but it's one of the very few that knows how to make it work and have fun with it. The characters. You could tell that this movie tries to make some good characters here. They have good intentions to be well developed, but how they end up being effective can be rather mixed. Let's begin with the main characters, Junior and Tulip. One is about to be the next big boss of Corner Store, while the other is an orphan who works on the side and can be a bit of a troublemaker. They could have actually been great characters, since the film does give them a lot of time to focus on their chemistry and what they do to take care of the baby, but the big problem with them is that they both have similar personalities. They both try to be the eccentric funny man, making many scenes of them arguing look like they're just trying to outwit each other instead of having one be a bit more serious to gradually contrast the other to make whatever comedy they try to pull off work.
What is happening?
The wolves are forming a suspension bridge.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
All right, let's go.
It's too bad because I can see the effort put onto the development of these characters, but they're just not well executed. As for the villains, Hunter provides some great humor by presenting himself of how he is the big head of Corner Store, while Pigeon Toady has this strange contrasting personality that I guess would be his shtick, that he presents himself as this straightforward businessman, but he would so talk in this totes cool speaking, you know what I'm saying, brah? Then there's the Wolf Pack. On one side, they're just an obstacle for Tulip and Junior to protect the baby that don't contribute to anything else in the story. On the other hand, they deliver some of the funniest moments of the film with a great performance by Key and Peele.
And look at you. Look what you did. I did the same thing you did. Are you in love? I am in love. Are you in love? I'm in love too. I agree.
And then there's the Gardner family. I understand that they do have a point in this film because the kid wants a younger sibling and his letter is why the protagonists have a baby in the first place, but like I said before, there shouldn't be a need to look into their side plot when it contributes to almost nothing with what's actually going on. I can tell that all these characters are well-intentioned and trying to give a good development and backstory, but it's in the execution where some either work or needs work. Storks may not have delivered the best animated film of the year, but it definitely brought some good cartoon fun. Sure, it may not have been as well executed with some of the characters and the story as much as the writing thought up in concept, but thanks to the strong animation and great comedy, it makes it worth it just as something enjoyable. The ones who would get a kick out of this the most, though, are kids for the zany cartoon stuff and new parents that just got a baby to relate to Junior and Tulip on their big adventure. By the way, before the movie would start, there would be an animated short based on the upcoming Lego Ninjago movie called The Master, which is 5 minutes of goofy fourth wall breaking humor and action that Lego movie fans would definitely enjoy. I wasn't expecting much from this film, but at least I managed to get a good laugh from it.
I agree.